And welcome back to yet another episode of The Movie Hoppers. And today we are reviewing the much anticipated film by the person who did Lady Bird, which is a movie I enjoyed. Have you ever seen that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh boy, well, that's a good movie. And now she made Little Women, the movie. A movie about the book that came out a real long time ago. I usually start these things, but I want you to start out this time. What did you think of Little Women?
All right, so I saw the trailers,
Uh
right?
huh.
And I'm like, oh geez,
Uh huh.
this is the movie that's
It
gonna
is.
come out soon.
It
And it
did.
came out,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay. And I knew I was gonna be bored from the beginning, and I was bored when I saw it. It is not good. I didn't enjoy myself. Nothing happened throughout like the entire thing, and it was just a thing that was really long and had no purpose.
Okay. Before I get into my opinion, let's just remember the opinion of the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. Yes, he just recently put this film on his top 10 movies of the year list.
Listen, I don't care what Barack Obama thinks about film. Is he a film critic? No. We are film critics. He's the president, okay?
Still
He
is.
has different points of view.
Well, for once in my life, I think I'm gonna have to disagree with Barack. He's gonna be chewing me out about this later. But I I had high expectations for this, seeing as it's by the person who did Lady Bird, who, like I said, that was a good movie, an enjoyable film. But this is not enjoyable. I was bored, like you said. It feels like a story that was told a million times with
Because it
yeah,
has.
it has. I guess that's the problem. But it also feels like the characters have I mean,
I
just
hated the
the,
characters so much.
they were
They were so annoying.
they
Oh my god. I was angry at them. I got physically angry at them.
Oh
Like,
jeez.
why? Why are they doing these things? It's so dumb. It's just stop.
Well, I was just gonna say that they're kind of like one dimensional, and like
Very.
the whole thing is that they're supposed to be like these really complex characters, but really this book was written when in the freaking 1700 1800s, something like that. Complex characters back then aren't going to seem complex to us now, and they don't. These are simplistic characters, and they bored me. And they, you know what, more should have been done. It should have been, I haven't read the book, but I can tell that, besides the time warping, that probably wasn't in the original book. We can talk about that later. That's going to be a point of conversation. But I feel like it just felt too old fashioned. Like I've seen this story, I've seen it done better. This is just the same story but with no gimmick, you know? Usually when movies have this is like the base of a story. It's like it's like a mix-in, you know? It shouldn't be like the main entree, is what I'm saying. It's just so too simplistic. It's all too simplistic.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I didn't like it. Although I didn't have this hatred towards the main characters. I just thought they're just kind of boring. One liked
They're
music.
boring. And their decisions were dumb. And it's like, oh wow. Look at what I did. Ha ha.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I guess they
Look how
were.
quirky I am.
Yeah, it just wasn't that good. But let's just jump right into it. This movie does time shift a lot, which the original book, to my understanding, does not do, as no book in the 1700s ever did. Where it shifts between like when they were older and when they were younger, and I, you know, it was kind of dumb, but I thought it was done well in a very weird way.
I was kind of confused.
Yeah, well, I guess that's something I have to praise. I was not confused, despite the fact that the actors looked exactly the same. That was my fault. That they looked exactly the same. Like,
That's probably why I was confused, like so confused. I'm like, it
yeah,
was just weird.
like you have all this digital de-aging stuff. Like they didn't even put it. They look the same as when they were adults. So it, but I didn't like. I wasn't confused, and I was surprised by that because they do look the same. I actually like whenever the switch happened, I was like, okay, this is a time switch. It for me it worked. I didn't think it was smart, but like at least I could tell. And in a lot of movies, you can't tell. But in this one, I thought it did a stupid idea well, I guess, kind of.
Maybe I just wasn't paying attention as much.
Probably because it is a very dull movie because there's nothing to it besides like the bare minimum you need to like do a story. But remember that one scene when like the one girl was like in school, she was drawing the teacher.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that found it weird that she was like surrounded by a bunch of like 10-year-olds and she's like almost 30 years old, and it
Yeah.
looks really weird for her to be in that school. That that was a point of disconnection for me. I was like, wait a second. It's like in one of those movies like where the you have the bad kid that gets held back a lot and he's a lot older than all the other students. He's doing the stupid shit. That's what it looked like. I don't think that's what they were going for.
I mean, I hope not.
No. But I don't know what they were thinking when they're like, yeah, let's just use the same actresses. It'll be fine.
The budget was $40 million.
I know.
Like
Well,
you couldn't afford that. Come on.
That probably went in all. That probably all went into the main cast though, because besides the youngest one, I could name pretty much every actor and actress.
It's probably all went to Meryl Streep.
Yeah, probably.
She was only in it for like 2 scenes.
Old Meryl Streep, yeah. But what did you think? What do you want to say about this? I've been running my mouth for the last 7.5 minutes.
Like my main issue with this whole movie is that none of the characters are likable, at least to me. Like, she didn't make any of the characters likable, and you need a character that you like at least something good about them that you could like, oh yeah, that's cool, I like this. So it's like there's nothing there. Like all the 4 girls were annoying, and they were like selfish and just terrible to each other. But like everything, it was, and then the guys, like the friend. Oh my god, when Joe like freaks out at the critic for reading her book
that was
because that's his job. Like, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? He's just sitting there like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it's my job to critique your book. It's just like, are you an author? Did you ever write anything? And he's like, no, I'm not an author. I'm a critic. And she's like, and then ran away. Like, I was so confused during that scene. Like, why are you doing this? This just makes me hate you because you can't take any criticism.
Well, I thought that was going to accumulate in something like the guy would explain himself or be like, hey, this is what I actually thought, and she'd be like, oh, okay, sorry, I overreacted, that's my bad. I'm just not used to criticism. But nothing ever comes of it. That scene is completely useless.
It's a useless scene.
Yeah, until the very, very end. I'm not going to spoil it, but the end is...
Like, this whole movie was made up of useless scenes that didn't pay off to anything.
Yeah.
Except for Timothy Chalamet, I guess.
I didn't like that guy. I didn't like his acting. I don't know why. He seemed like a bastard. That's the only guy I didn't like.
Parts of his character was like, oh, he's a bastard. But then, like, in other scenes, he's super nice or whatever. Like, and I couldn't grasp his character, like, at all.
Yeah.
Because it kept switching, like, in every scene.
Now I know... Yeah, well, I was just going to say, now I know why none of the characters have any complexity, because when they do try to have a character with like any features or attributes or more than one or two. It doesn't handle it well and doesn't mesh well at all, and it comes off as like two totally different characters whenever they're
Yeah.
on. It's not. Yeah, again, Ladybird, great characters, great everything. I don't know what happened here. She directed and wrote this, so I don't know what the hell. I don't know. She must have been riding high off that Ladybird praise. She just wrote this in
Yeah.
a weekend. I don't know. This isn't well written, and
She probably figured like, oh, I'm gonna make powerful women characters again, but then forgot how to write them.
yeah, forgot the character,
Yeah.
or really for them to be powerful at all, because these aren't really powerful people.
They aren't. They're
Yeah,
just annoying.
especially at the end.
Especially at the
I
end.
really hated the ending of this movie. It was so. I'm not gonna spoil it. Not gonna spoil this 200-year book, but Also, another weird stylistic choice was how anytime somebody wrote a letter, like they couldn't just have a voiceover. They had to have the person that was writing the letter make eye contact with you while they read the contents of the letter. They did that every time. Every time.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. It got creepy after a while. I know movies. I've seen at least 2 or 3 movies that done that before, but they only do it once. For effect.
Yeah.
They do it every time here. Why?
And then they also like kept showing like did close-ups of the letter, but it's
Yeah.
like super like bad. I mean, it's not bad, but it's really tight calligraphy
Yeah.
and it's unlegible. You cannot I couldn't read any of it. And then it's like, oh, here's the letter. Oh, it's okay. We're back to another scene. So you didn't even get time to try and decipher it.
I got the translator, and yeah, totally different language. But also, what did before she wrote Little Women? What did Joe write? Like, I know she wrote things for like a newspaper, but like, what was her like genre? What did she actually write?
I don't know.
Besides it being spicy and gory, I have no clue. Did she write like pornography or something? I have no clue what she wrote.
Horror?
I guess maybe, but we never got to see any of those original. That would have been a nice touch, because I really had no clue where she was coming from,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, maybe it was like horror smut.
yeah, it was probably smutty, because back then, I guess
Sells.
it sells. Yeah, that's what she said. It sells. Yeah, I guess she wrote smut. I don't know. I don't know why that wasn't even. They just forgot to explain that. I feel like
Yeah.
they forgot
Didn't
a lot
matter.
of things. Well, that's
Didn't matter enough.
Didn't matter. But it does matter. Positivity. And I
Oh
think
god.
we've been lacking in said positivity for quite a while. So I would like to
Okay.
open up my favorite corner. It looks like you already have one primed and ready, so I'm just gonna let you take it away.
Alright. So I liked how Meryl Streep's old lady just ripped on what's her name? Joe the Joe. I'm not even gonna try and say her name. Her character just like ripped on her, and I was like, yes, get it, Meryl Streep, hell yeah,
You sympathize with the bad guy.
yes.
Wow,
Because at
okay.
least she was an interesting character.
Wow. The liberals aren't
So
gonna like
I
this
liked
episode.
Meryl Streep's character, even though she was only in it for 2 scenes.
Okay. Well, as always, your comments are extremely backhanded. But I'm gonna try to do something. I'm gonna say something nice. I'm gonna say that I like the acting. The actresses, they were good. I don't think you didn't like them, did you?
They were okay. I just didn't like the characters.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this is a good cast. I mean, they spent 30 million on it, so it's probably all went to the casting. And yeah, the acting was good, except from that one guy, freaking whatever his name is.
Why would you like Timothy Chalamet?
I hate. He's such a smug bastard. He can go fuck himself. He should be a bad guy in like every movie because I just hate him every time I see
No,
him.
he should. That'd probably actually be really good.
Yeah,
Like yeah,
I don't
because he
like
has
him.
that face.
Yeah, he
He has
does.
that face.
He's he's such like an asshole. He looked like somebody who goes on Reddit. I hate him so much. But all the actresses, they were good and fine and dandy.
Mhm.
Do we have anything else to say before we get into spoiler talk?
Nah.
Okay, well, let's get into spoiler talk and talk about the ending where Joe, the main character, ends up marrying a character we met once throughout the entire movie and know nothing about. And
Woo!
and the movie the whole time is like uh, Joe's talking to like is I I'm kind of confused here because Joe is talking to the publisher guy, and
Yeah.
the publisher guy is like, does she has to get married. She has to get married, but the book is based on her life, right? It's based on the story of her and her sisters.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, I'll make her get married, but then she gets married in real life, like
I
at the
I don't-
same time.
Was it actually real life? Because I was like, at the end, it kind of fell apart for me
Yeah.
because I didn't understand what was going on anymore.
Yeah, it kind of blurred the line. I don't know. I mean that guy, he's like an actual character in her life, but he's also a character in the book. Maybe I don't know. Is Little Women even autobiographical?
I don't know.
I don't know
Oh.
either.
Let me look that up.
I've never gotten around to reading it. I probably won't now, but this movie heavily implies that everything that happens is real.
It's loosely based around the author and her three sisters.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. But again, it still falls apart at the end where it kind of blurs the line between what's real and what isn't.
Yeah.
And the fact that this movie hates its own ending so much. It's like, well, she has to get married, and the person's like, all right, I guess she'll get married. It's like so smart assy about it. I just didn't like the ending. It was like, and it wasn't in her character to get married anyway. It didn't
Yeah.
it didn't make sense for her to get married, and the entire ending is just basically like the whole movie up to this point, it's grounded in reality, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
But the ending is like this big like scene, and the guy walks out the door, and 5 seconds later they're like, "Oh, let's get the horse, let's catch him." Like, no, he's right outside. He's on your front lawn.
He's
Just walk
walking.
outside. He's right there. Just
He's walking down the path
they
at
even
a normal human pace.
they even like cut to a shot of him walking down the path, and it's like he's
Exactly.
just out there. Why don't you
He's just out there.
Why? It didn't make any sense, and it felt like the
You don't
movie
need a-
was. It just felt like the movie was trying to say this ending is stupid. Obviously they had to have some liberties, when making this movie. Why didn't they just change the ending? This ending's dumb. I didn't like it. Shit. Bad. I didn't. The ending was just so dumb. That's the only part. The rest of the movie is dull, but the ending's the only part that really pissed me off because it made no sense
Yeah.
at all.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, it's out of place. What did you think about that character that died?
Hold on. What? Alright, hold on. I didn't really care about her because she
No.
wasn't written well.
She
She wasn't explored. All we knew about her was like she played music, and that was it. And then she got typhoid fever and then died.
Yeah, that was a character. She was literally she's the only actress in this entire movie I couldn't name. She was literally just meant to die. That was her role in the movie, to die.
Yep.
And I love how the Emma Watson was like, or whoever was like, she was the best of us. Like, no, she wasn't. She didn't do anything. She had no personality. In a movie with characters that don't have personality, she had the least personality of them all. I didn't give a
Exactly.
shit. Her entire character was just to be axed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, let's get a rip in the chat for
F's in
her.
the chat
Yeah.
for what was her name even?
I don't
Beth.
know.
Beth. That was
Beth.
it.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was what was it? Okay, so it's Joe, Beth, Meg, and
Amy.
Amy. There we go. The most stereotypical white girl names you can think of, but whatever. It's the 1700s.
Thanks, the 1800s.
Yeah. 18 potato potato.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couple years.
It's uh I just didn't feel anything when she died. I okay, one another
And then there was
compliment.
the weird dream sequence before she died, or like she died and then Joe was asleep, but then dreamed she was alive and okay, but then she actually woke up again and she was dead and already taken away, and they didn't decide to wake Joe up and tell her that her sister died.
Yeah, they must have been real quiet about that.
Yeah,
They must have been like, yeah, how do you walk in the room to find your daughter dead? And you're just like, okay, guys, let's be super quiet. We don't want to wake up Joe. You
mm,
know, I don't know. I don't know how they did that, but I didn't think that's what happened. I thought what happened was like she had typhoid fever before, right?
yeah,
Like, and the one part of her that wasn't a dream sequence. That was a flashback when she had typhoid fever, but she got better.
mm,
And I was just gonna compliment it on that because I thought it was neat how it was like, the flashback where she got better, and then the present day, and it was real somber, and the color palette was gray, and there was no music, and I was like, oh, I know what's happening here. I like that directing. I like that. You know,
yeah. The aesthetic was very nice.
yeah,
Like
it
it had
was
a very
shot
pretty
nicely.
aesthetic,
Yeah,
but
it
the story was terrible.
yeah.
It's the same as like Call Me by Your Name. Like the story and plot sucked, but it looked so nice.
Yeah, I actually like Call Me by Your Name. I like the peach scene and the part where a grown man sucks off a 17-year-old kid. And
Yeah, it was
it
great.
was a bit weird, but I enjoyed that movie, but I have not seen it since it came out, since it came out in theaters, so I don't know. I might have changed my tune, but this movie I I don't know how they could have gotten it so wrong. Just everything is half done. There's
Yeah,
nothing that feels complete in this movie.
and you have the book right there. You
Yeah.
have the book. Just go into it. Just read it again.
Yeah.
Right? Just take pieces of the book and put it in the plot. It's as simple as that.
Why
You
do we
know?
why do we even need another? A Little Women remake came out last year.
Really?
Yeah,
Wait, I think I remember that.
I I like remember that because I had to buy a ticket to it so I could movie hop to another movie. I think I bought like 3 tickets to that movie. But it was like a modernization. It was really it's probably better than this one, to be honest.
Probably.
Uh no, not Little Movie. I looked up Little Movie and the My Little Pony movie came up. Let me see. Little Women 2018. Oh, it got 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie's doing really well on Rotten Tomatoes. I just want to say it got like it's got like a 90 something. And but
Well,
Barack,
that's for poor taste in movies.
yeah, yeah. That doesn't wait. Disney did the last one, Wait, what? I'm so confused. What? What? Wait a second. Who made this last movie? Oh, it's by Pureflix, the people that make the Christian movies. What the
Oh.
fuck?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I might have lied. That might not have been better.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it only made barely over $1 million, or $1.4 million actually. Yeah.
Bro, there was another remake in 1994.
Yeah, my mom actually saw that one. She saw this one with me, and she was like, "I remember seeing the old one. I don't know what
And
it's like."
49
It's
in this year.
why do we need another one?
1933,
Again.
1978,
Oh
1918.
my god.
Why are there so many remakes? Just stop. It's not a good story.
Make your own thing. Just again, this writer and director has proven that she can make a quality original film. Why would you ever stick her with this? Why does she have to remake something? Why? Just I actually had high hopes for this one. Very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Just did not.
I really didn't have high hopes for this one. I figured it was gonna it wasn't gonna be good. Like, come on, it's Little Women. What are you gonna do with it? You know what I mean?
And I'm okay with dry movies. I'm okay with movies that aren't like exciting explosion shit like that. Like,
No,
just
yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
yeah. Just the other day, I saw a movie called A Hidden Life, which was 3 hours long, and it was about this guy who didn't like swear loyalty to Hitler, and he went in prison, and basically the whole thing was him slowly dying. It was like watching paint dry, but I like enjoyed it. It was like good, but this movie just isn't good. It's
Yeah, you can have like long movies,
yeah.
but they're good, you know,
This movie-
and they're enjoyable.
This movie.
This just sucks.
Yeah, it felt a lot longer than it was too.
Yeah.
Just too much
Like Once Upon a
stuff.
Time in Hollywood all over again,
Yeah,
but with women
and
and no feet.
yeah, the only problem. No, there was feet in that one scene. The only thing in the movie that made me laugh, where it like cuts to a scene and she's like, "I'm making a mold of my foot," and I was like, "Oh, that's funny," because it was just totally. It came out of nowhere.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was the guest director Quentin Tarantino. That was that actress trying to get into the new Quentin Tarantino film. I'm gonna send Quentin Tarantino a mold of my foot.
That's how he casts people. You find his agent and just like send him feet pics.
Thank God Dan Schneider doesn't make. I mean, no, not Dan Schneider. Fuck. I'm just gonna say thank God Quentin Tarantino doesn't make kids films.
Oh god. Yo, imagine that Dan Schneider and Quentin Tarantino team up.
Oh man, to make the ultimate movie. Feet the movie. Maybe every director has a foot fetish. It's just that they're like the most outwards about it. Like you can't make movies without being attracted to feet. You just can't. You just can't.
He just can't.
They've tried and it just doesn't work.
They can't escape it.
No. Like, if like whenever you premiere your first movie, you just think to yourself, "Oh well, feet are pretty hot." Wait a second, what's happening to me?
Wait a second. No.
No, no.
What's happening?
No.
Damn you, Tarantino.
Oh God.
Okay.
Well.
So anyway,
Wait. Do you have anything else to say?
not really.
No. This movie sucked. I'm giving
Sucked.
I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10. Because it was kind of almost bearable, but I still wouldn't recommend it. It was boring. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm gonna give it a 3 because it
3.
looked pretty. It looked nice.
Yes, it did look nice.
Plot terrible. It sucked. I didn't like it. It's
Act-
dry as hell.
Actually, I'm going to retract that 3.5 and give it a 4 because there are some points in the movie where I thought it was gonna be good, and those are the parts I liked. But then it didn't turn out to be good, so it evened itself out. So I'm giving it a 4 because there's some part I almost thought interesting things were gonna happen. That's
Hmm.
yeah, but they didn't.
Yeah, I
So
almost thought.
yeah,
You
I almost
like
thought,
well, maybe it'll take a turn for the best.
and
But you were
no.
wrong. I'm disappointed, and my Christmas and New Year's is ruined.
Yes, this might be the last movie you see this year.
Yeah.
How sad. You sound so like existential there, like, yeah. Oh God. No, don't feel bad.
Oh God.
Last year, the last movie I saw was Holmes and Watson, so you know.
Really, really bringing the year to an end with a bang.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can see Uncut Gems before the year's up, so I can
Yeah.
end with an actual good movie. But only time will tell. Oh, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.
See ya.